to wear your life jacket, and here's why. You're unhurt, but rough water and high winds make it impossible to right your boat. Now, you're adrift in cold, choppy seas. So, what are you going to do about it? Should you A. Swim back to shore, leaving the boat behind? B. Hang on to the boat and wait for rescue? Or C. Tread water a few feet away from the boat to avoid being pulled under in case it sinks? Your choice is more critical than you may realize.
When you've got a very strong windstorm, whether it's a localized storm or a larger storm, if that generates very large waves, then you increase the risk of a boat capsizing. But the larger the boat, the more resistant it will be to that.
Capsizing a vessel, well, there's a lot of ways. The vessel's going to capsize because it hits something, or the vessel's going to be loaded improperly with people or gear, traveling too fast at sea and hitting a large wave.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
It can cause the vessel to become unstable and roll or turn over.
Weather conditions and wind shifts, your plans can be ruined in just a minute by the way the wind is blowing out there.
Nearly 700 people die in boating accidents across the U.S. every year. And here you are. You're stranded in the sea. What are you going to do now? Your best shot for survival at sea is B. Hang on to your boat and await rescue.
There we go. There we go.
If you happen to capsize your vessel, it is highly recommended to stay with your vessel. It is much easier for me as my job to find you, to make yourself bigger, because I'm gonna send helicopters, boats to go find you, and the bigger the debris field is, the better is your chances of being found.
A lot of victims of capsized vessels who swim away from their vessel can perish. Staying with your vessel is a better target for rescuers to find. It keeps you and your party together. It's a flotation object, and it can be something that you could use to climb out of the water.
So don't just stay with the boat, stay on top of it. The reason? Warmth.
The reason you want to try and get up on a capsized vessel rather than stay in the water will cool you off 25 times faster than being in the air. Even if the wind's blowing, you're still much better off on top of your vessel.
As for treading water nearby to avoid going down with the ship,
most small vessels, say 25 feet and under, are built with some type of flotation. It's still going to be a big, safe flotation device for you, even after it's capsized. Keeping one hand on the vessel or a foot or getting up on the vessel.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
if you want to survive a capsizing accident, you need to be prepared.
When you're in the ocean, you should always be alert about possible weather conditions changing, the sky getting darker, the wind's picking up, and the seas are starting to get heavier and rougher. You should always go to your marine radio, go to the Weather Channel, and find out what's going on in your area.
When you're loading up your boat in the morning and you're preparing your crew, a lot of times you'll have a ditch bag. Your ditch bag might consist of signaling flares, radio, extra life jackets, various things, that could help you when you have to jump in the water.
Whether you're at sea or in a lake, always wear a life jacket. If your boat capsizes, don't swim away from the vessel, and if possible, use it to climb out of the water.
All right.
Keep your head, and rescue will be on its way. You're about to be hammered by a freak hailstorm. A record-breaking storm surge leaves you fighting for your life. And you're getting up close and personal with a lethal predator. What is the #1 cause of boating accidents in the U.S.? Is it A, inclement weather, B, operator inattention, or C, alcohol use?
You wouldn't accept an incomplete job from anyone else. Why accept it from your allergy pills? Flonase Sensimist relieves all your worst symptoms, including nasal congestion, which most pills don't, and all from a gentle mist you can barely feel. Flonase Sensimist.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and that sunrise something.
I honestly feel that way about Jimmy Dean.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Good morning feeling. Oh, that smells good.
Buy One, Take One is back at Olive Garden. Starting at just $12.99. Enjoy one of your favorites with us. And take one home for free. Buy one, take one for a limited time, only at Olive Garden.
Know what?
No, what?
I just switched to Geico and got more.
More?
Got a company I can trust.
That's a heck of a lot more.
Over 75 years of great savings and service.
You can't argue with more.
Why would you?
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Welcome to Tide Pods Talk with Gronk. I'm Gronk. I'm big and awesome, but this guy is little. Can it really clean? Heck yeah, it can. It's concentrated detergent plus stain fighters plus odor fighters that fight for clean. Boom! Ugh. Even this entire bottle can't beat Tide Pods. And now a word from future Gronk. Ugh. Tide Pods. If it's clean, it's got to be Tide.
Brand new day is at my feet, and I'm singing low, and sweet, giving more.
Introducing a beer inspired by nature, made with organic grains and sourced from the finest farms. This is Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, a beer like no other, with a pure, refreshing taste.
What does help for heart failure look like? It looks like Emily, cooking dinner for 10. It looks like Jonathan.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Entresto is a heart failure medicine that helps your heart, so you can keep on doing what you love. In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. It helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. Yeah. Entrust your heart to Entresto.
The beat goes on.
What is the #1 cause of boating accidents in the U.S.? The answer, B. Operator inattention is responsible for nearly 600 boating accidents every year. Alcohol use comes in second, accounting for less than 300 accidents, while heavy weather is the cause of about 200 accidents each year. Storms on the open plains are common, but as a dark, colossal cloud looms overhead, you hear something that says...
I'm Carl Parker at the Weather Channel in Atlanta. We want to tell you about a tornado warning right now in the New York City metro area. Let's take a look at where this is. It's Bronx, Nassau, Queens counties under warning and now moving out and into the Long Island Sound. This warning going till 10:45 p.m. And you can see the storm now just west of Port Washington North and now moving to the east or a little to the north of east. Now we're seeing rotation showing up just north of 295, right about in there. So that's going to be moving towards Manor Haven, again, out over the open water here at the Long Island Sound, but it's going to be getting very close.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
So getting towards Manor Haven at 10:37, Glen Cove at 10:48, Laddingtown 10:53, and Mill Neck at 10:58. So again, a possible tornado coming your way. This is a tornado warning in effect for Bronx, Nassau, and Queens counties along the north shore of Long Island there and out into the Long Island Sound and moving east at about 20 miles per hour. We'll have more on this as necessary. We now return you to programming already in progress.
Go on for some time, and each time it's growing and growing. If you slice it down the middle, you'll see kind of looks like an onion, looks like layers.
But when it gets too heavy, then it falls out.
Typically, You do get the strongest thunderstorms in the afternoon where you have that heating that builds up during the day and you get these very violent updrafts.
Often underestimated, hail can be a costly force of nature.
Look at their window. The windows are busted out.
In 2012, a series of hailstorms around St. Louis racked up an estimated $1.6 billion in damages.
Shannon's apartment complex is destroyed.
It could range from just pea marble size hail all the way up to softball size hail, which is 4.5 inches in diameter.
When you think about how fast that hailstone is falling at that kind of weight and that kind of momentum as it comes down, they've estimated that a hail the size of a baseball, when it hits the ground, it's going 90 miles an hour. And that's about as fast as a major league pitcher will pitch a baseball. So that kind of chunk of ice moving at that kind of speed, falling at that kind of speed, can inflict quite a bit of damage. It can obviously do a lot of damage to cars. It can do damage to roofs, can strip trees of any leaves.
You can break your windshield. You can go through skylights.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
It's a real hazard out there.
The largest recorded hailstone fell in 2010 near Vivian, South Dakota. It was a staggering 8 inches in diameter, easily large enough to cause serious injury or even death.
If they can dent your car and you go out on them, they can dent you. And in the extreme, I mean, they can kill cattle that are left out in open pastures in a hailstorm. They can be quite destructive.
Most of the injuries I've seen from hail are welts that are put on you because, you know, it's hard. It's like a baseball. A 1-inch hailstone falls at about 70 miles an hour. 2-inch stone can fall even faster than that. A 3-inch stone can fall at 90 miles an hour. So if you have hail that's falling at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, it can do a lot of damage to you. Really hurt.
Under some conditions, a large hail, when dropped on someone's head, can cause devastating head injury, and there are a number of people who die of hail-related head trauma each year in the United States.
Clearly the safest place is in a shelter, and say if you're in your car, you know, under an underpass to prevent the damage, but that is by far the best place to be during a hailstorm, is inside and protected.
Which leads us back to you. Enormous hailstones pound your vehicle and threaten to shatter your windshield.
Martin, put your bike helmet on! I need that bike helmet back here. I don't have any protection.
What would you do to survive this bizarre storm? Incredibly, your best bet is C. Pull your car over and angle it toward the storm.
If you're caught in a hailstorm, go over to the side of the road, wait for that hailstorm to pass. Best to get off a main highway if you can. If you're driving in the hail, the forward velocity of your vehicle...
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
That hailstone coming on in, and you'll end up causing your windshield to break. You don't want that to happen.
You may want to think about just pulling over. They're fast-moving episodes, and so if you pull off to the side of the road, make sure you're clear of that white line, make sure you're out of lanes, and turn your flashers on and wait till the storm passes.
If the front windshield can take most of the impact of the hailstones, you're going to be better off than the side windows. The front windshield is typically more reinforced, and it's going to be able to take the brunt of those hailstones much more effectively than the side windows. It's also a good idea to move all the occupants of the vehicle towards the center. You move yourself away from the windows and away from breaking glass if that's what happens.
But why not just drive away?
It's really tough to drive away from hail because you really don't know where that hailstorm is going. So it's best just to stop.
Anytime there's anything out there in your field of vision, be it rain, fog, or in this case, hail, it's going to impact how far you can see, especially if it's a heavy storm. We want to pick our foot up off the accelerator, slow down, and consider pulling over and letting the storm pass.
As for getting out of your car to seek shelter,
you don't want to run outside in golf ball sized hail. That's going to injure a person very quickly. So again, your car is going to give you a great deal of protection. Probably best to stay there.
And the bigger the hail is, the more it's going to weigh, the more impact it's going to have if it hits you, and it can kill you.
It's going to cause damage. It's going to possibly concussion, depending on the size of the hailstorm. It's definitely going to cause some injury. It's just much safer to stay in your vehicle and just wait it out.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Of just 6 minutes. But if you're caught out on the open road, take note. Pull over immediately. Park underneath cover like an overpass or garage. If that's not an option, angle your car toward the storm. Follow these tips and you should live to see clear skies again. You've heard the warnings. You think you know the risks. Despite calls for evacuation, you've decided to stay in your home on the shore as a massive hurricane is about to make landfall. Big mistake. Sundown, and water levels continue to rise.
Oh, lights just went off. Oh my God.
Seawater from the hurricane's storm surge floods your home.
Starts right off the front.
What will you do to survive? You find yourself face to face with a man-eating shark. Now what?
Jardiance asked, and now you know. Jardiance is the only type 2 diabetes pill proven to both reduce the risk of cardiovascular death
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
and lower A1C with diet and exercise.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are sudden kidney problems, genital yeast infections, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions.
Isn't it time to rethink your type 2 diabetes medication? Ask your doctor about Jardiance and get to the heart of what matters.
Whirlwind in your stomach? That's your body calling. Answer the call with whole grains and fiber to support digestive wellness. Special K Probiotic Cereal has both and real peaches and berries. Special K, powering you.
Adulthood comes with many responsibilities. But you can get in your car and drive to Arby's for a $1 Coke float. So, it's a wash. Arby's, we have the meats.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin and relief from symptoms caused by over 200 allergens, like those from Buddy. Because stuffed animals are clearly no substitute for real ones. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
When I walked through a snowstorm for a cigarette, that's when I knew I had to quit.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Is patented dual-coated technology for great taste plus intense craving relief.
Every great why needs a great how.
Coffee Mate. It's no ordinary creamer. Coffee Mate is triple churned and 2 times richer than milk. It makes a simple cup of coffee perfect. Coffee Mate. Stir things up.
So you have your headphones, chair, and your laptop, 24/7 tech support.
Yep, thanks guys. I think he might need some support.
Start them off right with the school supplies they need at low prices all summer long. Save $200 on this Dell laptop at Office Depot Office Max.
This is the ocean.
Oh, let's swim together in the water clear and clean. It makes
Just listen.
us feel better.
There's so much we want to show her. We needed a car that would last long enough to see it all.
Subaru Outback. 98% are still on the road after 10 years. Right now, get 0% APR financing on the 2018 Subaru Outback.
It was just a really nice scenic route through the woods.
But it started getting dark.
And I honestly had no idea which way to go. Both our cell phones were dead.
No water.
Getting cold. I don't think we can make it.
Cold and running out of food.
We've got a problem.
It's no longer fear. Now it's survival.
You wanted more.
Luck is no substitute for...
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Is back. SOS, How to Survive. Sunday nights at 8. Only on the Weather Channel.
You foolishly ignored the calls for evacuation. And now a colossal hurricane is crashing into your town. Heavy winds combined with a historic storm surge wreak havoc on your community. As night falls, the water level rises. The ocean is rushing into your home.
Right off the frame, man. The door's right off the frame.
Do you know what to do next? Your life may depend on it. Do you, A, tape up your windows so they won't get blown in by the storm? B, stay dry and get to the highest point in your house? Or C, evacuate as soon as the eye of the storm is overhead? But what are these titanic forces of nature?
Hurricanes depend on very warm and very humid air that sits over top of warm ocean waters. So they develop in tropical regions, in the Atlantic, in the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and also in the Eastern Pacific.
A hurricane is actually the product of energy within the ocean and the atmosphere. And just as we get a formation of clouds and storm systems, low pressure systems over land, same kind of process is happening with a hurricane, but on a much more dramatic amplification.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
These are classified from 1 to 5, the strongest being in Category 5. With Category 5, those are wind speeds of over 150 miles per hour.
Names like Katrina, Irene, and Andrew might not scare you, but they should. These are the names of some of the most devastating natural disasters ever to hit the U.S.
A tornado warning has been issued for our area.
Really low right along the coast, and that allows the storm surge to build up and creates a very, very high storm surge threat.
Even those living inland experience their fury. Hurricanes can knock out power and wipe out homes, bridges, and roads.
Oh, man.
In their path, a trail of devastation and, sadly, even death. Though no prediction is perfect, the science of hurricane forecasting is improving. This means people can be warned, sometimes up to a few days ahead of the